time for Weather Geeks here on Thursday, the 21st of May. Feels more like early April or late October rather than the third week of May. We've had another cool and clammy day today, and it's going to stay below average, it looks like, through tomorrow, and then things are starting to look up as we head deeper into the holiday weekend. So let's get right to the details. I'm recording this at about 7:35 p.m., and a little bit of light rain out there, just enough to flip on the intermittent wipers a little bit. A little disturbance in the upper levels, cruising through on kind of the backside of this cool air mass. And this light rain will get out of here before you know it. In fact, look how quickly the sky clears just out to the west, just west of I-77. It's already cleared in the western suburbs of Cleveland and out towards Toledo and Lima. So we will turn mostly clear here before the evening is through, and that'll set the stage for a sunnier day coming up tomorrow. We could use a little bit of sunshine. But we also have this weak front. Let me stop the animation here. This weak front that's heading south through the Great Lakes. It's kind of right through here. Notice it has a couple of sprinkles, parts of Michigan. And I think our radar could look like that around mid-morning tomorrow. 8, 9 o'clock, there might be a sprinkle. Might look kind of cloudy for a couple of hours tomorrow morning as this front drops in. But you notice how thin the band of clouds is. It won't last long. We'll get back into sunshine midday and afternoon for our Fridays. So some good news there. Elsewhere across the country this evening, things are quieting down in the Carolinas after a stormy afternoon and evening. Watching the threat for some thunderstorms out across the high plains into parts of the Rocky Mountain states. Cool air across much of the interior of the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic states, but look at the warmth building out here across the middle of the country. So this is the warm air that's finally going to get the green light to come east as we go into the upcoming weekend. Of course, dew points locally are very low, down in the 30s. Actually, most of the high dew point air has been suppressed down into the Gulf Coast region and into the southeast. But we are not only going to warm up, I think we will turn more humid here as we go into Memorial Day and beyond. All right, again, let's real quickly spend just a brief second here talking about the timing of this light shower or sprinkle chance tomorrow morning with our weak little front. Here's 8 a.m. You know, the NAM has a couple of spritzes and sprinkles north of I-80 at 8 o'clock, then at 9 o'clock. Those are drifting south. So again, it may look like it wants to rain for an hour or two, but it shouldn't do much more than a sprinkle or a quick shower around mid-morning tomorrow. By the midday and afternoon, those are gone. Chilly winds tomorrow, though. Notice the isobars are kind of packed close together tomorrow, so it'll be a breezy day. It's going to feel cooler than it actually will be. Actual temperatures tomorrow, nothing really to write home about, but a little bit better than today anyway. NAM has upper 50s to around 60 once again in most spots. I think that's reasonable. It could even be a little bit cooler than that north of I-80. As you can see, the NAM only has 53, 54 in northern Mercer County. So yeah, another chilly day for tomorrow. And then, of course, the temperatures become our big story as we go into tomorrow night. Freeze watch already up for Mercer County. I think the rest of our viewing area goes under a frost advisory, probably tonight in the wee hours of the night or into tomorrow morning. Been showing you over the last couple of days in some of these videos some of the modeling. The GFS has been the coldest model easily all along, and look at these numbers it has in the middle of the night, Friday night and early Saturday morning. It's got a hard freeze, 25, 26, 27 in parts of Mercer County. That's the GFS. The NAM, for exactly the same time period, has about 34, 35 in some of those cool spots. So you can see there's a pretty big spread amongst a couple of our major models. What I think reality is probably somewhere in between. I think a lot of us are going to see lows around 33, 34, 35 Friday night with some of the cold spots, particularly in Mercer County and maybe Trumbull County. Some of the cold spots, perhaps 31, 32. If that ends up being the case, it's not enough probably for a real hard killing freeze like it would be if it was 27. But it is enough, certainly, that you've got tender vegetation and plants and things of that nature. Cover them up, bring them inside if possible. Good idea. So, we've got a cold night, but temperatures will rise rapidly Saturday with a full day of sunshine, just bright and sunny, deep blue skies Saturday. We're talking mid-upper 60s by mid-afternoon, perhaps even 68, 69 in some spots. So a big jump in our temperatures will occur Saturday morning once the sun comes up. And then we'll be saying goodbye to the chilly air for the foreseeable future. All right, as far as any precipitation this weekend, we've been talking about how we had a small chance in our previous forecasts for Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. We've taken that out. Here, let's back up to Sunday. Here's Sunday afternoon. As you can see, the moisture is well off to our west at this point. So we're going to keep Sunday dry. On Memorial Day itself, I actually reduced the chance of a shower or thunderstorm from 40 down to 30 in our TV 7-day forecast because it just doesn't look like it's going to do much on Memorial Day. It's going to be a breezy, warm day. Notice again the isobars are packed together fairly tightly. Sure, there could be some pop-up stray thing in the afternoon, but boy, don't cancel the outdoor plans if you have outdoor plans on Monday. And it's going to warm up. 82, 83, I think, is within reach Monday afternoon. So we're going to go from, in some places, maybe 31 degrees at daybreak on Saturday to 82 or 83 by Monday afternoon. So big jump, big change over those couple of days. As we head back to work next week on Tuesday, I think this is when rain chances will tend to increase. We're going to have a pretty good influx of moisture for the middle of next week from the Gulf on the backside of that big high. So several rounds, it looks like, of showers and storms after the holiday weekend. I doubt there's any kind of washout in there, but a better chance to get wet after the holiday weekend. And, I showed you this last night. Heading into a pretty pronounced ridge pattern across much of the East Coast and backing up into our area as well. Let me show you the 500 millibar map here. Look at this big circular area over Florida and the southwestern Atlantic. That's a big ridge, and that's going to pump in the warmth. East Coast will feel the effects of this most next week, but we, back here in the Ohio, Shenango, Mahoning Valleys, will be above average for just about all of next week, even though it won't be in the 90s or anything like that. By the way, real quickly, when was the last time we had a freeze this late in the season? Well, it was just 2 years ago. Back in 2013, on the morning of the 25th, we had 30 degrees. So it was only 2 years ago that we had a real late season freeze. The climatological averages are about 1 in every 10 years, but we may make it 2 out of 3 years with a late season freeze. Real quick word on the long range. Again, warm next week, but here's a look at June. This is the entire month of June on the latest climate model for precipitation anomalies, difference from average. Looks like a wet June in much of the heartland and down into the southern plains, parts of the southeast. Continue dry in the northeast, where we're starting to get more and more concerned about a summertime drought. And here locally, the climate models are suggesting that June's probably a pretty typical month as far as precipitation. That means we get 3-4 inches worth of rain. Temperature-wise in June, models are definitely hinting towards a somewhat warmer than average month, much like May. Will there be some below average days? Sure, but the month as a whole ends up above average, it looks like, for June. Notice again, much like May, a cooler than average pattern in Texas, Oklahoma. They're dying for rain out there. They've been in a 5-year drought. They've had a tremendously wet May, and June could end up being cool and wet for them as well. And not too many people out there are complaining. They really need the rain. All right, I'm off tomorrow and on Monday. So no weather for Weather Geeks until Tuesday. I hope you have a great Memorial Day weekend. Make it a safe one. Thank you to all the veterans who might be tuned into this video. We always appreciate your service, of course. And I will see you back here for more Weather Geeky action on Tuesday. In the meantime, check out my fresh forecast tonight on 21 News at 11 o'clock.